Hello, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Assmacker Princess. In this part, we go and fight that baboon guy, who's being a jerk. So, yeah.
Wait, that's outside of what insinuate that Zelda is the ass smacker.
No, Midna could also be an ass
The
smacker. It's ambiguous. You have to read between the lines.
A game theory.
So, yeah, this is certainly one thing I do like about this game is that they do, for at least a couple of the dungeons, they do have interesting takes on what the mid-boss is. Like, at first they start off by having the mid-bosses be, like, friendly characters that you fight for reasons. But then they kind of just go back to having them be random monsters in the dungeons all after that, from what I can remember.
It's kind of
I can't remember a whole lot of the mid-bosses. They didn't really stand out to me all that much, except for this dude, for obvious reasons.
it's kind of an escalation where the mid bosses that you fight early on are cast as like not necessarily evil characters because that makes them less of a threat. So, but that also has the effect of making the earlier ones more narratively interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's just some random Goron who's like, yo, you can't take this bow, and then you beat him up, and he's like, oh, you're the hero, yeah, take this bow.
I remember that now.
Yeah, I also like it because these mid-boss elements end up coming back later in Xant's fight.
Okay, you're good. You're doing the actual strat of just jump slashing everything.
That's the way to do the most damage, right? Like,
yes.
If you try to slash, you end up
there's no damage swords in this game, so.
Well, I don't... Like, I'm not talking about, like...
It's also funnier.
Strats. Yeah, because you learn all these fancy sword moves and whatever, and the hero of time is just like, okay, good, now we can... Oh, I forgot that it was one of the Twilight bugs that made him go cray-cray. Okay. But you learn all these fancy sword moves, and then what you end up actually doing is going, yeah, and just jumping at people.
Hey, like, what did you do today? I spanked the monkey. Okay, well...
Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby.
Link! Princess Zelda?
Oh, yeah, also the boomerang is alive in this game, and they never bring it up ever again. Because they needed to explain why the boomerang could make wind instead of it
just a random fairy inside the boomerang that makes wind power.
And even though they could have just said it's a magical boomerang.
Yeah,
that's it.
We never talked to this.
We don't even get a scene where Link bangs it against a wall and says no talking or something.
I honestly completely forgot that it was like...
Yeah, that's why it's so weird. It's like...
very what the fuck.
Hey, it's someone not Midna to talk to, so, I'm
For
I'm
2
sure...
seconds.
You never talk to her again.
Imagine banter between your tutorial partner and the weapons.
Yeah, like, what if you miss so much and it actually ridicules you? It's like,
yeah, Lewis, you're saying that, but that's literally just Sonic Night of the Wind. Sonic and the Black Knight. Sorry, that's the name of the theme song. But that's literally what happens, is you have the tutorial partner, and then you talk to...
What I don't get is why it makes you hit the switch like 3 times in this room. It's like, okay, I get it.
That you can... So, I guess it's so that you know that if you mash the thing multiple times, you can do that, I guess.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Oh, I guess not. Then, okay.
Yeah, so having to do it 3 times is literally pointless.
You have to make sure that you know it really, really good.
It only spins so much on a proper rotation?
The boomerang is really cool, though. Like, you can use it for all sorts of wacky stuff. Like,
you can long jump in this game with it.
Oh, yeah, no,
What?
you can... So, you can lock on to the boomerang and jump slash towards it while in Z-targeting mode, and it'll take you farther than if you were to normally just jump slash.
Oh.
And that's basically how people get out of bounds and do speedrun shenanigans in this.
Yeah, you're basically
I've
letting
never
yourself
looked
get
at the
carried in the
speedrun
wind.
strats for Twilight Princess, so I've never actually seen that.
Basically, the 2 strats are boomerang, long jumping, and out of time. Out of time is causing the game to freak out.
There's no out of time in this one.
It's a different version of it, technically.
Oh, okay.
Out of time is the main one they call in Skyward Sword, but it's the same general principle of how the game works.
So what? But one of my favorite things about this game, though, is that it's possible to skip the first scene where you get a move from the hero's shade. I think is what it's technically called.
Yes.
So you can skip getting the finishing blow. The thing is that you need the finishing blow in order to kill Ganondorf. So without it, you literally cannot beat the game. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have to
so
skip the
even though
game, but not all of it.
That's unfortunate.
Yes.
Yeah. There have been people who have lost like world record runs because they forgot to get it and stuff like that, which is, funny. It's funny after it happens. It's probably not funny
Oh,
when
and
it
I'd
does.
imagine it's not even funny after it happens to the person in question. Just funny
Oh,
to
no.
everyone else.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's funny at someone else's expense,
Yeah, well,
but funny regardless.
that's called comedy, John.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
Well, as they say, pain plus time equals comedy.
Anyway, the being able to use the Gale Boomerang on these guys is the most satisfying thing in everything, because they're so annoying, and then you get to they're also huge. Like, Jesus, wow. But yeah, there's so much utility to the boomerang, because it's not just hitting stuff with the boomerang. You can stun enemies, and you can like carry bombs to certain spots with it and stuff like that. That's one of the things about the best items in this game. Because Spinner and Dominion Rod aside, this game has a lot of cool multi-use items. Like the ball and chain is one. I mean, the arrows have always been a multi-use item, so there's that. The double claw shots are amazing.
My favorite is
ball and chain is multi-use.
Yeah, ball and chain is
Yeah,
pretty
you
good.
can do it for stuff that you could blow up with bombs. You can break with the ball and chain.
It's also a very big shield right in front of your face.
Yeah,
It's also
I get-
great
I
for
get
combat too, because you can just whack people with it, and it's awesome.
I guess I never really used it for that because it is like a bit slower than using the sword, so like it's never on my mind to pull out the ball and chain to protect myself with.
Yeah.
Especially when everything dies so easily.
I guess for context, I'm the kind of player who spent the entirety of Ocarina of Time wielding the Megaton Hammer. Like, I didn't use the
Oh.
Master Sword at all.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense actually, because I'm the type of person that'll just use the Master Sword through the whole thing because I don't want to go too far out of my way to get the big iron sword half the time, but also just like it's quick and easy and nothing. You don't really need anything else.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just got the big Goron sword before I even go into any dungeon in the second half of the game.
Yeah.
Because you can do that.
Why
You
do you
can.
need a
It's just
different
a- it's
compass
just
for
a
every
hassle.
dungeon?
Because the gravitational force in the land of Hyrule is whack, considering that the geographical landmass that this place takes. Man, my joke failed because I stuttered too much. Damn it. The land of Hyrule shifts land masses like every 200 years, so the magnetic force that binds this world is like messed up.
Also,
much.
everything is flipped.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah. This is supposed to be right-handed Link's dungeon, and it's left-handed Link. So he's gonna get lost. Or maybe it's like Pirates of the Caribbean, where the compass is just broken. I don't know.
It points to the
Broken
Flying
only in it-
Dutchman.
It points to your innermost desire, wasn't it?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, but why it doesn't point straight towards the nearest stash of porn mags, I don't know why.
Oh no!
So, oh no, I'm good. Okay, I'm gonna admit something here. Even though there's the very obvious Z on the ground, this puzzle took me way more time than I would care to admit on my first playthrough. So
Same.
thankful. I mean, it's something that you never forget
Like,
after.
yeah, Z for Zelda.
I feel like when I did this, I realized the Z as it pulled out and showed the camera of that shot of that whole area, and then I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. But
When did
before
they-
that, I didn't really look at it.
Zelda, make up your mind. Is it the big key or the boss key?
Bo, I think
I don't
there's.
I don't like how reserved the boss key design is. It's a small thing, but I don't like how tiny it looks in this game.
I mean, it's just a key.
I mean, it's still bigger than your
Yeah, I
arm.
know, but in Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time, that thing was big and glorious.
Well,
The
in Link
boss
to the
key,
Past,
that
the key
boss
was
key.
literally the size of Link when he held it over his
Yeah,
head.
that's
Okay,
how you know it's
also,
the
like-
boss key.
The boss key chest in Ocarina of Time was also like golden and blue and big and shiny, and it made it feel important.
It's still big enough that it's probably as heavy as your sword. So,
Yeah, So Link can carry, that for no problem, but God forbid he
key
carry
as a
501 rupees at a time.
Only in anime.
Well, I just like how the wallets in Hyrule are only as big enough to carry the actual monetary value of the rupee rather than the number of rupees itself.
Oh yeah, it'd be like if your wallet is full to bursting because you put a $100 bill in there.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh man, I can't pick up this penny. I got a 20 in my pocket.
Better go find that upgrade.
That's one thing that I don't think anybody missed in Breath of the Wild is wallet upgrades.
Absolutely.
Or at least,
Yeah, why doesn't Link get pants upgrades? It's like my fucking
because he
endgame
enjoys
is
he enjoys the breeze going through his tunic. That's why.
Yeah, Link
That damn
just never
character.
gets the right idea to wear cargo pants.
You're not going up the
Nope.
Ted.
I mean, there's no chest up there, so I
Ted.
don't need to do it. Look, it's not even like I'm missing anything. I got the chest. I backtracked
But
to
we
the room
want to
and
see what's up there.
There's
It's a
nothing to see up
mystery
there.
now.
Well, good. Now you can play the game and go see for yourself.
Yeah, now Nintendo can't complain that we're taking sales away from them.
Well, no, they're not going to complain at all because now we can just do anything we want with their videos as long as we put commentary over it.
Oh, yay, thank
Oh
Christ.
wait, they finally loosened up their restrictions on that.
Yeah.
About
Yeah,
about
like,
5
yeah.
years too late.
Now we,
but-
can, now we can finally get that revenue on that 3D World playthrough.
Didn't we got revenue on like part 13 or
Part
something.
1.
Yeah, no, but not part 1's the one we didn't because that's the important one.
No, part 1 we did for like a day and then it got immediately flagged.
Well, I mean, the first day is the most important one, but
Yeah.
That poor,
Okay. Ow.
that poor
It's a
Moblin.
good year.
I don't think this game technically has I mean, the Zelda enemies I'm way worse at remembering the names for than
mostly
like,
because their
Mario's.
design changes every other game.
It's like, oh, that guy's a Dodongo, and it's just like, wait, that's supposed to be a Dodongo, and it's like, sure, it's like, okay, it
The
doesn't
first that always pop into my head are Dodongos and Like-Likes.
like,
And Octoroks.
And yeah, but like I'd have to think. Like off the top of my head, I always think of Dodongos and Like-Likes.
Gotcha.
yeah, but it's just like I never felt that they were as easy to remember as like the I suppose again because you're right in that not only does the design change every game, you deal with some of them in different ways in different games. Like it's usually similar kind of things. Like you usually need to put a bomb in a Dodongo's mouth, for example. But sometimes there's different ways of doing that, or there's a different strategy that you have to do to take care of it. You know, like actually, I think there technically are Dodongos in this game, and you don't use bombs on those at all. You have to go behind them. And
You have to
hit them
whack
with
their
the
tail.
Yeah, so it's not like how in Mario you always jump on a Koopa and it goes into its shell or something like that.
Even like I didn't really get that Dodongo and bombs were a thing because in Ocarina of Time, the regular Dodongos, like the small ones, you don't have to kill them that way. Technically, I guess you can, but it's a lot more effort and a lot more aiming, and it's a headache.
Well, it was kind of a spin on the traditional Dodongo in Ocarina of Time, where instead of using bombs to blow it up, it blows up after you kill it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
I mean, there
Is
was
that
like
why it
there was
dislikes
King
smoke?
Dodongo, and you did have to use bombs on him, but like, I was thinking of specifically the smaller ones. But you're right, they do explode, so bombs in a way.
Ted, you're having a brain fart, aren't you?
No, I'm thinking too hard because this selectively strong wooden prison for this monkey. I got a bomb to blow it up, but no, that's not going to break the prison.
Yeah,
But
they're
me
dropped
jumping
down
down
from the
from
hole.
above and whacking it with a stick is going to do more damage. Okay, whatever.
It would
So,
have
yeah,
been cool
I
if they
feel like
made it
hitting
so
it
that
with
you
the bomb
could break
should have been
cages,
an
right? But-
acceptable thing, though.
Yeah, it's. Wait, no, wait. Ah!
you're about to have a Wile E. Coyote moment where it blows up in your hand as soon as it enters.
I think it's at this point where I realize that I'm doing something wrong and I'm trying to get out of here. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, it probably just has a very specific
Camera.
So, okay, Link's control in this game is weird. It's very smooth, but it's almost too smooth.
It's
too
not
good.
precise.
It's the
Yeah.
it's the kind of like PS2 GameCube era control where they hadn't entirely figured out how to smoothly implement character weight into basic movement controls yet. So you were basically divided between control that was weighty and unpleasant and control that was smooth and a bit too loose.
Yeah, it's not that it
Yeah.
controls badly, but the N64 Zeldas did. I've never played Wind Waker, so I can't compare it, but the N64 Zeldas kind of aired on being a little bit too stiff. This one airs on being a little bit too loose, basically. So you'll see instances where I jiggle in front of a chest or whatever because I'm trying to get into the very specific spot where the game will let me open it, and trying to get to that specific point, unless if I move the control stick just the tiniest little bit.
I
Yeah.
just
Well-
prefer stiffness a little bit more than loose, if only because stiffness tends to not get me in trouble as much.
I have to agree there.